Okay, so hopefully the audio is working. This is my first time doing a video live. So again, just as the title suggests, it's in regards to FIFA and what I think they should do in regards to the game in general. But I'll be touching on more in terms of gameplay, as opposed to graphics or features that they should incorporate. Also, making comparisons that I'll probably be making to most of through everything. Hola. Todavía no está. ¿Todavía? No, todavía no se enfrió. Ay, sí, no me di cuenta. ¿Pues se ve el partido?
Ahora voy a ver cómo va a terminar.
Bueno. So, apart from that, so in regards to FIFA, recently I saw a video in regards to Inception was reviewing text versus MS-DOSing, and so the game, yeah, you could tell that the game, yeah, it was better than what you may experience commonly when you're playing on weekend league or division rivals. But in regards to just how the game speed was, it was better than most times. Now, that being said, immediately when the match started, or at least when I was watching Inception's review on it, there was a kickoff goal. That's one of the first things I want to touch on that they obviously need to get rid of, because it is an annoyance. Just like the first time finesse shots, every time you kick it, 8 or 9 times out of 10, it's going to go in. So what I think they should do in regards to that is the pro players need to take the initiative. If they can't speak out because they're contracted to do such things, not really speak out against FIFA because they're being contracted by them. Me parece que sí. No sé. Me parece que juega más tarde. So I didn't take a sip. The pro players need to be able to be still be professional, but at the same time they have to find loopholes to get what they need to say in regards to it. Sorry if the audio from the background is getting annoying, because I don't know how the audio is going to be. We got the Barcelona Manchester United match going on. So with that, the pro players, what I would suggest to them, and hopefully can be a trend that everybody would follow, is with the kickoff goals. As soon as the match starts, whoever gets the ball first kicks it out of bounds. That way, eliminating the effect of it, hopefully, because I don't know if it would be entirely like that. Then also, when the player gets the ball, when he has to throw it in, he would throw it back out of bounds and give it back to the guy who initially had it. So let's say if it was MS Dostry and Tex, since that was a recent match. MS Dostry, let's say he starts off with the ball, he kicks it out of bounds, then Tex would also kick it out of bounds when he gets the ball. Okay, so that you eliminate the kickoff goals or the kickoff stupidity from the AI that they don't know how to defend all of a sudden. And that way you can actually start off on a good foot in terms of a good football match. Number one. Number two, now more in regards to the gameplay. The gameplay needs to be fixed, clearly. So, 1-1. Ah, bueno. Y los partidos no van a ser difíciles, obviamente.
Bueno, 1-0 es 1-0. Ahora después en la cancha de Barça.
Claro, va a ser más difícil para United.
¿Qué fue el gol? Pase de Messi, el gol de Suárez.
Sí. En el Camp Nou tienen que meter 2 goles por lo menos. En el Camp Nou tienen que meter 2 goles por lo menos. Sí. Y Barcelona también tiene que meter 2 goles.
Tienen que ganar, si sea 1-0, tienen que ganar. ¿Vos agarraste las cartas?
No.
¿Cómo no?
Las mías sí.
Bueno.
Bueno.
A eso bueno.
Ok.
Puta, siendo medio dolorido.
No descansar.
Afuera el sol está espectacular.
Let me see. So, the way that the players move, the passing of the ball, like the weighted pass, is not what it should be. In winning 11-8, the running joke, which, there's basically simple, in regards to it, was that you could literally press the X button over and over and over again, and the pass would be, would have a good amount of weight to it, and it was accurate and it was very real. It was very fluid in regards to how it got to the player, and then the control that the player would have. Now, there wasn't any other stuff where you have the L2 and R2 button that you press at the same time. You face the goal. You control it better. The shielding, you didn't really need the shield at all. If anything, the players would, push each other automatically when they got near each other. So, what's it called? So, they should really look into these previous games, these previous editions, because in every FIFA edition game, there's always something good. Just like in PES, there were always great things about the game, and then there were bad things, the pros and cons. But what they should look at are the pros, the things that did work, and then incorporate them in every single edition of the game. Pro Evolution Soccer or Winning 11, well, Pro Evolution Soccer or FIFA games alike. So that's what they need to be able to focus on. Now, if they lose track of that and they're just, focused on loot boxes and making a profit and all these things, it's not going to benefit anybody except for the creators. But at some point, too much of a good thing is bad for you. So if they were to look into the quality of the game, the quality, not the quantity, the quality of the game, actual good gameplay, because the graphics are going to be there. The graphics are going to be there. Okay? Even in Winning 11-8.
Es dejar, debe ser otra cosa de alquiler para la abuela, ¿ves? Brutalo. No está,
Hello?
que llame más tarde.
Oh, she's actually not here at the moment, but if you'd like to call back, like say around 7 o'clock or so. Okay, rental car. Yes, State Farm. Oh, okay, and what's the reference number? 037 231 7797. I mean, when she's at work, she really doesn't answer anybody. Yeah, she actually calls. But no, if anything, I have the reference number here. And what's the best number to call for her to call? 973 595 1256. Okay. Okay. In the morning. And will there be somebody who can speak Spanish? After 6 in the morning, you mean? 6 at night. Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So call this number after 6 o'clock, and she can speak to someone in Spanish. Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
¿El coche de alquiler?
Okay.
¿Y?
No, me dio un número de referencia y
Mejor no venga la
ya.
abuela que lo vea, porque mañana hay que ir a la chapita, así que.
Sí, sí. De nada, Ul. So, um, sorry about that. Um, so in regards to that, winning 11A, they really had the gameplay down packed for the most part. Winning 11-7 was good as well, but they've improved on it in winning 11A. And that's another difference that EA doesn't seem to differentiate between. You have improving on something and changing something. When you change something, let's take an outside example, something different, like Beauty and the Beast, the movie, right, the live movie, because I'm into movies as well. The movie in itself, the cartoon version, obviously was perfect. The first one, the second one, I didn't see it, but I don't think it got really good reviews compared. Now, when they made the live version, I had a feeling already from the trailer it wasn't going to be as good, but it should be. Now, what they made different was that they made, I forgot the character, the Gaston sidekick, I forgot his name. Uh, Apparently, they made him gay. They made him homosexual. Now, in regards to that, there's no problem whatsoever, but it wasn't necessary. It doesn't really have to do, with anything in regards to the movie. Just like Woody Allen, just like Woody from Toy Story. Apparently, in the next movie, I mentioned, but if it's true, to make him bisexual doesn't make a difference to the story. Okay, if we had known that from the start, it still wouldn't have made a difference. It doesn't really matter. Um, and no, not I have nothing against gay people or bisexual. Okay, so I don't need that. I'm not like that. I only judge the person as how they are as a person. So in regards to that, they made something different, and then they changed it. So the change was them making Gaston's sidekick gay. So that doesn't really matter. Um, but what they should have done, but what they did do, was incorporate a scene showing the death of Belle's, I think, mother or father, or I forgot what it was. But that's something different. That's something that does mark a movie and make it different. That's improving on something in a way, but not completely changing it. So again, now going back to FIFA, in FIFA 17, to me, that was the best FIFA edition I played. And I had a time gap between FIFA 13 and FIFA 17. That's about 4 years. And even when FIFA 16 was out, I was playing FIFA 13 for Virtual Pro because even then I think the gameplay wasn't what it should have been. If anything, FIFA 12 and 11 that would have been like the better gameplay. And again, graphically, they're always going to have it down packed, and they're always going to make improvements. That's great, but they need to incorporate less animations within the game, and they need to be able to improve on the gameplay. That's it, because everything else is going to come naturally to it. Okay, now the weight of the pass. Today I saw like the first half of Manchester United versus Barcelona, and I think it ended like 1-0. Good for Barcelona, good for Messi. Um, Now, the way that Jordi Alba was passing the ball to Coutinho, even when they were close to each other, it was fast. It had a good amount of weight to it. It wasn't slow. It wasn't slow paced. The way the players moved. Okay, I shouldn't have to use the L1 button to try to turn quicker to have closer ball control. And even that doesn't work at times. When I want to turn, FIFA 18 in that sense, the L1 button was different. It was better, okay, because it seemed like they turned quicker. I could even be a 6'2" player in FIFA 18, like my virtual pro, and I could still turn the way that you needed to. That's good. But the way that the passing is, when I made a pass along the left or right flank to my wingers to continue their run, so they're running diagonally, right? And then you just want to make that straight pass, that through pass. You literally had to point as if you're trying to pass it out of bounds in order for that pass to go through. That's not how it should be. The game should be able to have that already in mind when it comes to what kind of passes you want to make. So that's what FIFA or yeah, and EA need to incorporate. It's not like basketball, and I feel like they were trying to change it into that, where unfortunately every player has a different way of moving. You know, you have Derrick Rose, you have Kobe Bryant, you have Michael Jordan, you have Ginobili, you have Tim Duncan, all these different players, Shaq, that they had different animations, they had different ways of moving. But even then, if they were to make it a little more generic for the most part, then they would have a better game. Because even NBA 2K and also NBA Live isn't what it should be. The movements have to be quicker because they need to be able to match what you're trying to do here. Even when the connection is good, I know that Inception has mentioned it. Shout out to him. Shout out to, well, before anything, shout out to Inception, Italian Stallion, that said I was going to give him a shout out in my next video. Um, hopefully, any of you guys watch it and can review it and have a discussion with it. I would love to talk to you guys on Discord. Um, then whom else? Krause, that Mike LaBelle, Kurt. I support you all the way, bro. And I think that you're doing great. Unfortunately, you're going through something that's against you, but I hope that it does go in your favor at some point. I have a strong feeling it will. But a shout out to all you guys and every other, MS Dallasry, Tex. I hope that you guys do great. You guys really play well. Um, so, these are things that they need to consider. They need to make the gameplay a lot quicker. In winning 11A, you had a lot of great features. You could buy players individually for the roster in the game. The gameplay was such that you could literally be one player and you can dribble past everybody. Um, but of course, if you play against somebody that really knows how to play, it's not going to happen all the time. But the dribbling was a lot better. For the most part, the skill dribbling, or as we know it as the L2R2, which in FIFA 17 it was the best because it reacted quick. When you were running the opposite way where you need to go and you hold those two buttons, your player turned around quick and you were able to do what you need to do. The shielding was better in FIFA 17. I was able to get the Division One, and I had to sweat it out. I really had to play well, and I found a way of playing, but still there were things that you know it wasn't working. I had to use the L1 button again to turn quick, and I shouldn't have to use any button to do that. I should be able to. The stats in the game, they need to get rid of composure. Okay, I know I'm throwing a lot of things out there. I'm trying to keep it under like 20, 25 minutes. But the composure stat, unnecessary. And winning 11A, you had the consistency stat, which is the same thing, but you didn't really feel it. Okay, you felt more of the gameplay, the way that it was, and it was very organic, it was very fluid and very reactive. The response time was like small, like a differential, very small differential. So, in regards to that, those are the things that they should focus on. Um, I would suggest to EA and any other creator of football games to look into winning 11A, look into winning 11-7, or if you want PES 4, same thing, and to really, really try to make that gameplay, that foundation, to make that the foundation of every single FIFA game. Not because it benefited me, or uh, that I'm being biased, or that it has to go in my favor, or anybody else that found that game to benefit them. But it's the fact that in the FIFA games, the gameplay is such that it gives false hope, or a false idea rather, to people that do not play very well. There are many, many videos that, Visa, another guy I want to give a shout out to. We don't know each other at all, none of these people that I mentioned, but I see their videos and I really enjoy them. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Visa or Vise from England. Eight compilation videos of FIFA. His rages are hilarious. You always have me cracking up. Um, but it's those examples that I really don't have to reiterate. I don't have to show myself, even though I'm gonna see if I can learn how to edit videos because I'm not too experienced. But there's countless examples. I posted videos without me speaking at the same time. It's just something visual where the gameplay needs to uh, it shows the defects, it shows the flaws in the game, the coding, scripting, whatever you want to call it, or whatever it is. Um, and that's where it really needs to change. Uh, you know, Movements of players that are unnecessary, animations. By the time the animation's over, you've already lost the ball. You're losing seconds. And that's all it takes, seconds that you could be moving with your players and you could really be trying to defend or to pass the ball around or to make movements. The way that Messi was moving today, he was moving very well. You can't get that kind of movement in the game, even when the connection is good. Okay, yeah, when the connection is good, anything is better. But that's not what it is. So again, and I know Inception's mentioned that in his videos where when the connection's good, I like the game. Yeah, you may like the game because it's better, but still there's animations that have to be involved, which I know he's mentioned as well. He mentions a lot of things, and people like him that analyze the game, like Italian Stallion, for example. But uh, in regards to it, yeah, it's the fact that the reaction times of the players, the animations are influencing how people are playing and taking advantage of these meta things like the first time finesse shots. Then at the beginning of the game, everybody was jumping like Michael Jordan, uh, and heading like Martin Palermo. Uh, I mean, it's all these things that in the game it's not going to make sense. It's not going to make for a good game, and you have to repatch and constantly make updates to the game. You should be making updates in terms of game features. Like if you're like, oh, let's incorporate more classic jerseys. Let's incorporate more boots. I don't understand why you can't use the boots from previous FIFA editions. If you've already been licensed to get them, why not use them again, right? Um, Pro clubs. That's something that I love doing, especially to my member, with my member rather. Zoro, shout out to him as well. Anybody else? Um, Editing the jerseys, editing the font of how the letters look on the back of the jersey and the numbers. Manchester United, the way that they have their numbers there, it's like the classic jerseys, and that's something that they should have. um, Classic jerseys that were in the FIFA World Cup editions, FIFA World Cup 2010, 14. You can get those jerseys and use them. And it's nice to see. It's nice to have them. But I don't know why these things aren't being, placed in the game now. It's so simple. You already have permission to use them. Why not use them now as well? And for every other FIFA edition, because you're focused on something else. Your intentions are based off of other things. So you need to be able to get rid of that, whatever it is, and really focus on the gameplay. People, the designers of the game, you need to speak out. You need to make this a better play. I know your jobs, it's your form of employment. You have to pay bills and stuff, but still focus on making the game better. There has to be other ones. They should revamp Winning 11A, okay? But this time incorporating online matches. If you were to do that, you will not have a bad game with that. Winning 11A is the best game I've ever played, okay? Yeah, graphically people say, oh, well, it's not like Pro Evolution. So what? The graphics were not that bad for what it was. Not at all. You still had Ronaldinho's face, okay? Even if it was pixelated, it would still look, he would still look ugly. One of the best players I've ever seen. To use the Brazil games, the chip shots, one on one with the goalkeeper, you can either chip the ball over or you could just kick it into the goal, okay, to the side, whatever it was. Custom tactics. EA needs to, piss off with that because they're incorporating as something new. I mentioned this in my last video. It's not new. In Winning 11A, and probably in the other edition as well, you could literally edit the dots. Like, let's say you had the two strikers here. That's so weird. The two strikers here and the cam right here. You could bring this guy out. You could put him up. You could edit every single position, and also you can give instructions to these players. So it doesn't make sense. And to say, oh, well, now we have custom tactics. The 50-50. You mean to tell me that Roque Mesa from Sevilla can get rid of the ball, or take the ball away rather, from Lukaku from behind him? No. With the pace that Lukaku has, with the strength, with the size, he cannot get rid of the ball. Forget about composure. Forget about that. Because they should get rid of that. So yeah, these are things that I think that they should really work on and should really consider. And I would love to hear people's opinions. I'm going to see if I can branch this video out a little bit, get a discussion going. And I'm also going to see if I can make like a Twitch account. Well, actually, I do have a Twitch account, but I'm going to see if I can stream in regards to this. And also, again, to the people I gave a shout out to, I would love to have a conversation with Deception in regards to this, if he'd be willing to. Italian Stallion, I'm going to see if I can post it on his Twitter, see if he'd be able to, just put his 2 cents in, even though he already has, especially with Inception. Great podcasts. Um, and I hope you guys do another one. Uh, but yeah, so this is the end of the video, and I have a lot more to talk about, but like I said, I'm trying to keep it under a certain amount. Last time I made like 45 minutes. I Congratulations to the people who stuck through it the whole video. Uh, Even though I probably just got the view and that's it. They saw the minutes, like, oh damn, 45 minutes now. So, well, all right. Uh, yeah, leave a comment and hope you like the video. Hope it gets your mind going a little bit, and if you want to say anything, just leave a comment. Thank you so much.